Hello, and thanks for joining me, Clara, for this guided visualization. Before we begin our peaceful, imaginary journey, please find a place where you feel comfortable and can fully relax. Close your eyes and let's start by focusing on our breath. Taking a few deep breaths together. Inhale deeply into your belly. Hold for a moment. And then exhale slowly. Breathe in again, filling your lungs completely. Hold and release, feeling a soothing wave of relaxation. As you continue this deep breathing, imagine each breath purifying your body, and each exhale releasing any tension. With your eyes closed, imagine the remote area of Tuscany where you've been staying. The small, renovated cottage you call home was originally a medieval barn used for storing hay. Its thick stone walls exude history, and the high ceilings and tall open windows let the cool breeze permeate the interior on hot summer days. You have a perfect view of a vast pasture of tall grasses and wildflowers from the windows, set against a backdrop of rolling hills. In the distance, perched on top of one of these hills, you can see the ancient silhouette of a castle. Each morning, you're woken up by the gentle sounds of sheep bells as a herd passes your window to graze in another field further down the valley. After this perfect way to begin your day, the sounds of birds and insects blend with the pastoral landscape, creating a relaxing background ambience for your peaceful days spent here. After the sun dips behind the distant hills and night descends, The lights from thousands of fireflies illuminate the darkness across the pasture, making the grasses fizz with tiny white twinkling lights. Living in this peaceful area for the past week has been incredibly relaxing. Located far from the village, your neighbours in a nearby house have welcomed you as part of their family and have become cherished providers of delicious Italian food. They bring a variety of cheeses, freshly made pasta, aromatic coffee, plump olives, and fresh baked bread, surprising you with something new each day. They also share the produce from their garden, vine-ripened tomatoes, fragrant basil, and ripe plums. On your birthday, they surprised you by baking a delicious plum pie, a traditional regional dish. The pastry crust was light, and the plum filling was perfectly balanced, not overly sweet. Each bite melted in your mouth. With an abundance of fresh, flavorful treats, you don't need to travel anywhere. And for this, you're very grateful. After enjoying the peace for a few days, you feel rejuvenated and ready for some exercise. So you decide to explore the path leading to the castle on the tall hilltop across the valley. When you walk past your neighbour's house, a large Italian mastiff with floppy jowls and brindle fur barks at you, but then turns away and returns to lying in the shade under a tree next to the house. You follow the trail into the forest. It's a little overgrown with brambles, and some of the brambles have ripe, wild raspberries growing on them. and you stop at several points to eat some of the tart yet sweet berries. After a while, you find yourself standing in a clearing within the forest. The tall trees surrounding you stand apart from each other. Each one is unique in its way. Some trees have twisted limbs, forming angular shapes, while others stand tall and straight. The leaves on the twisted trees are small and pointy, while the narrow ones have dense evergreen foliage. The warm, soft fragrance permeating the air carries a hint of history, evoking a sense of a long-lost time. As you wander along the broad, sandy path, meandering through the forest, you notice a clearing up ahead. When you reach the clearing, another part of the valley appears. Here, a vast field of grass sways and undulates with the gentle breeze, reminding you of the ebb and flow of ocean currents. The whisper of the wind through the tall grass beckons you further into the open space. Looking up at the hills beyond, you see the ancient stone castle, closer now, surrounded by even more trees. The urge to explore this mystical place becomes irresistible, pulling you on. As you walk through the high, golden grass, the tender blades lightly graze your bare arms. You see beautiful tall crimson flowers, purple thistles, and buttercups scattered around, attracting white butterflies and scarlet-winged beetles. Suddenly, you hear a loud rustling and see a large wild boar with tusks making its way through the tall grass. At first, you feel a bit scared, but then you realize the boar isn't interested in you and continues on its path, followed closely by 8 piglets with tiny brown and white stripes on their small bodies. Moving forward, you find yourself at the edge of the tree line surrounding the hill where the ancient castle stands. The trail through these trees is overgrown with blooming honeysuckle bushes. Instead of following this overgrown trail, you follow a dry riverbed that curves beneath it. As you stroll along, you pause to examine a collection of small, smooth stones scattered around the area, each one polished by the passage of a river that once flowed here and eons of rainfall. Your eyes are drawn to one stone in particular. Its oblong shape and colour pattern, half black and half white, a fusion of onyx and marble, captivate you. The stone feels warm and comforting as you pick it up, and it fits perfectly into the palm of your hand. The soft, polished surface glides smoothly under your fingers, evoking a sense of tranquility and safety. Deciding to keep it as a talisman, you slip it into your pocket, feeling its reassuring presence with every step you take. Continuing your way along the riverbed, you walk around boulders and enjoy the melody of bird song surrounding you. You feel as if some birds are cautiously watching you from the foliage, perhaps wondering if you're a threat or are merely passing by. Shafts of sunlight pierce through the canopy of the trees, casting dappled patterns on the ground. After some time, you arrive at an ancient stone bridge that lightly leads to the castle. You continue along it, leaving the forest behind. The ancient castle looms ahead, its imposing walls showing the wear and tear of centuries. The rough-hewn stones are covered with patches of lichen, and tufts of hardy grass sprout defiantly from the crevices. As you approach, you notice the shutters on the ground floor are tightly closed. Their peeling, faded green paint, a testament to the ravages of time. A speckled green lizard lies basking on one of the window ledges, seemingly undisturbed by your presence. You walk around the castle, scanning for any sign of entry. Eventually, you discover a weather-beaten shuttered doorway, hanging precariously by a broken hinge. With a gentle push, the door opens. Revealing a passageway into the heart of the ancient place. When you step inside the dimly lit entryway, the air is heavy with the scent of musty decay. The floor is littered with debris, broken plaster, shattered glass, and scattered tiles, telling the tale of neglect that has befallen this once majestic castle. Nature has also begun to reclaim its territory, with creeping vines twisting through the broken pieces of the walls. Walking carefully up the grand staircase, every step is accompanied by a faint echo of your footfall against the polished marble floor. The cool touch of the banister brings a sense of connection to the timeless elegance of the place. Halfway up, your gaze is drawn to a very tall window with panes resembling the bottoms of thick, round glass bottles. When you unlatch one of the windows and open it, there's a breathtaking vista, an aerial view of the undulating golden valley you recently explored. In the distance, clinging to the top of the hillside on the other side of the valley, is a small village with a bell tower. You can faintly hear the clock chiming, which mingles with the chatter of birds nesting somewhere in the old rafters above your head. You feel a presence in the castle, an eerie sensation that sends a shiver down your spine. It's as if a ghost is lingering nearby, watching your every move. You can feel the hairs on your arms and the back of your neck stand up, and you immediately know it's time to leave. Carefully, you retrace your steps back down the stairway and out the door. As you leave the castle, you gently close the door with a broken hinge, leaving it just the way you found it. You walk back down the old cobblestone road, then follow the path. The dappled sunlight still filtering through the leaves, casting flickering shadows on the ground. The golden meadows appear, their warm hues glowing and welcoming in the sunlight. A whispering wind on your face carries the sweet scent of the wildflowers. Walking through the field, you notice a patch of grass that's shorter and softer than the rest. Drawn to this inviting spot, you decide to lie down. The grass supports and cradles your body, and the taller grass around you forms a natural nest, wrapping you in its embrace. You gaze up at the endless expanse of the blue sky, feeling a deep sense of peace wash over you. You close your eyes, the sun's warmth on your face, and let go of all your worries. The sounds of nature fade into the background as you drift off into a deep, restful sleep, enveloped by the peacefulness of the meadow.